We did this several years ago. I love this. I've got to get it done someday. So this is what I chose to do since I already had it and it's in progress. We're working on this block here, and I'm going to cut out and place the windows. So like I said, it comes on a sheet and you just need to come in and clip. I'm not going to place all the windows today, and just clip it out of the sheet, and then you know we've got the paper backing on it. Now I like a pin better, but you can use anything because you just need to score. And I'm just taking the edge of my scissor and scoring the paper, and then I'm going to fold it on that score, pop it, and peel the paper off just like that. Make sure I'm in frame, just like that, like that. Then either using the pattern or the picture, you're going to decide where to put your piece, and then with a hot dry iron, I hope this is heated up. No, because I forgot to turn it on. It's one of those mornings today, you know. Was going to be here early, got here early, and then everything just kind of went from there. That didn't look perfectly centered, so we're going to put it back. I like to use the blanket stitch or the buttonhole stitch. So you can decide, you could use a zigzag stitch or you could use a straight stitch if you wanted to. Like I said, this is a work in progress, and I'm just going to hold that there for a few seconds and hope that it's stuck, and it is. So then we're going to go around to our sewing machine. And today I'm working on the Pfaff Expression 710. You know I'm a Pfaff girl. This is my 710. I'm going to wake it up so you can see I've already got my buttonhole stitch selected. Because this is a smaller piece, I have narrowed the bite and I've shortened the stitch a little bit. The reason I've done this is A, because it is a smaller piece, and B, it gives me a little bit more control. I do need to come in and set my speed, and I take my speed way down when I do machine applique, because if it goes too fast, then I've ruined my piece, and don't want to do that. I'm also using the open toe applique foot. Okay, so you'll want to have one of those because you want to see where you're going. And I'll talk a little bit about why I like this foot in just a second. So let's put it on. It's just this simple on your Pfaff, is to just snap it right on. I say that and then I'm like, can't go on. Right there, it's on, and I'm going to tuck my thread under my toe. I'm going to activate my needle down, and then I get this hover. I want you to see that I've got the hover right here, and we'll go over why that is. Okay, so right now I'm going to raise that up and raise up my presser foot because I do need to get my fabric started. And I always start like one stitch up from the edge or the bottom here. Now I'm going to follow this edge, and I'm going to have camera guy get in here. I don't know if he can see this. Let me move the thread. Can I move the thread? The thread's tangled. See this red line on the center of my toe, presser foot between the toes, right there, that one. I'm going to use that red line to follow around the edge of my applique piece. Okay. So I'm going to start it about right here. I've got the needle down. Now the reason you want a needle down machine, and the reason why I love the hover foot, is because you will see this is going to, we're going to go slow, and I have to take off my shoe. I'm sorry, I cannot sew with a shoe on. Anybody else out there have to sew barefooted? I don't know. I just can't run on the machine. I'm going to hold my thread with my finger back here just to get the machine started, and then we're just going to slowly go. And this is something that make it relaxing. Don't expect to be in a hurry. If you are more comfortable, you can go a little faster, but you will see why I like to go super slow, just because it helps with my accuracy. And really, truly, for me to go super slow is hard sometimes, but on something like this, I don't mind it. I've got a thread to match. I use an embroidery thread, and we have a thread kit for the Frosty kit. Now, right here, I'm going to start to pivot just a little bit, and I'm going to pivot a little more. So it's like one stitch, stop, pivot. One stitch, stop, and pivot. That's why you go slow, because if you go fast, you would miss that ability to pivot. And if you didn't have the hover foot, you are manually lifting your presser foot every stitch around this window. So you see why that helps to have that hover foot. And I will sometimes take a stitch and then do the pivot just like this. Just keep going slow all the way around. And then you're going to keep just going like this, so that you keep that edge of your applique piece following that center mark. That's how simple it is, but you just do it slowly. And that is really and truly how simple these laser cut kits are. Another thing I want to point out is that with the laser kit, these applique pieces, the laser has actually sealed the edge of the fabric, and you should have very minimal fraying. People worry about, you know, raw edge applique fraying, and I'm like, you don't get that with this. And there's a lot of people who have never tried one of these laser kits, and I think they're missing something really fun. And if I think that, I don't know, it's because applique is not my favorite word in the sewing world, but I actually find this to be kind of relaxing, just to do a little bit here and there and just go slow and know that it's going to take just time. And we'll just come around and I'm going to show you how I do a corner. Hopefully I'll hit the corner right. I'm kind of getting off a little bit, so we're going to straighten it back out. Just keep it like this. I took an applique class from Rhonda, who now works here at Quilted Works, several years ago, and I still refer to her handout when I do applique. And sometimes I nail it and sometimes I don't. It doesn't bother me if I don't nail it, because I know this quilt is not going to go in and be judged. It's probably just going to hang on a wall in my house. So here we're coming to the corner, and at this point, I know if I take one more stitch, I wish I had something sharp to show you. It's going to end up, right here, but I want it to end up down here. So I'm going to come up to my machine, and I'm going to lengthen the stitch out, and hopefully I've made it so it will hit right on the corner. Then I'm going to turn on the corner, and then I'm going to keep going. And I didn't quite make it, but I did just fine. Like I said, I'm not going to be bothered. Then I'm going to take it back to what my regular stitch is. And the other thing about this machine is I can save this specific stitch to the memory, so I don't have to remember my settings. Say it's like, you know, a month in between when I sit down to do a couple of pieces, and it might be another month, and I can't always remember my stitch lengths. So you can save it to your machine's memory, and not have to worry, because it's already there in the memory. And that one turned out much better, and we're done. And it was that easy. I know it's a slow process. It is a slow process, but it's faster than needle turn, hand applique, whatever. And there you go. And now it's ready to have its little blue piece, the windowsill put on, and to continue appliquing. And it's that simple. So get your Frosty Ghost to Town kit, because this is going to be an absolutely darling project. All the snowmen and all the snow is flannel, so you get a little dimensional effect with it. And I think you'll find that you're going to have a lot of fun. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Hi, everybody. I got a few times where I saw some of you saying hi, like, hi, Kathy. And we'll see you next week. All right. Bye-bye.